Hi, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us at the live demo of Manta Flow. Today, David Bryan. Hello, David.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. So Davis is our director of pre-sales, and he will show you how Manta's automated data lineage, how the platform actually works, how to configure the connections with various systems, and how it contributes to enabling data ops.
Thank you, Caroline. I really appreciate it. First, the introduction to data lineage. Now, data lineage is what helps you understand how the data flows through your systems. So you're storing information in a Microsoft SQL Server table, and you have an Informatica Power Center job, or maybe more likely a SQL Server SSIS job that goes and pulls that information out of the table and writes it somewhere else so that it makes it easier to access from a report. Maybe it reformats it and puts it into a data warehouse so that your reporting system can report on it. So that's data flowing through your organization. Manta provides you with that picture of that flow. Now, Manta doesn't actually touch the data. Manta is interested in the data structures and the objects that impact the data, that make the data flow to your organization. So how does Manta achieve this miracle? Well, step one, we connect to the environment and we scan that environment. Now, we actually connect technology to technology. So you'll be responsible for identifying the technology that you're interested in scanning, providing the connection information to Manta, and then executing that scan. And that's what step two is here, executing that scan. And then Manta adds semantics to it. In other words, it parses the information and determines that this component is a transformation. And so I'm going to provide that as an expression when somebody looks at it. We'll color code it differently, make it easy to spot. We'll color code the technology resources differently so you can easily identify those. And that becomes the full accurate delivery of your lineage. Our goal is to provide end-to-end lineage. And what do I mean by that? I mean, one end is the source of the data, and the other is the target. It's also important to consider the level of detail that you want. To really make lineage important, and to make it useful, you need to have lineage that goes down to the column level. So you want column level, you want analysis of your programs, your stored procedures, and doing that is very technically challenging. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump to the demonstration. You see on your left all of the technologies that you've scanned in your environment. I'm going to go ahead and start a journey by examining our customers report. And you see that that is an SSRS report, and you can select it by dragging and dropping it. I'm going to jump in with a low level of detail. And this way I can see right off the bat the end-to-end lineage. As I drag my screen over, and I'll go ahead and zoom out a bit, you can see the sources of information here on the left being fed into the processing engines. At the top here, I have SSIS. This is Informatica Power Center in blue. And then over on the right, I have a SQL Server database. This is a data warehouse that the information has been written into. And over here on the right-hand side, you see your customers report, which is where we started our journey. You can drill down at any time in any of these elements by simply clicking on this plus sign, or I can go ahead and change the detail all at once by going ahead and going to a medium level of detail. Now, if I go ahead and look all the way over here at the left-hand side of my lineage, you can see the sources of information. These are the three columns from this particular table that are source elements to that report that I'm interested in. I can jump back to the report that I started with by clicking on the center button. And you can see that your report has been exploded from just the single element now to all of the different components of the report. And if you click on any particular component, Manta will give you the full sourcing of that particular element. As I zoom out with my mouse wheel so that I can see the full lineage, you can see that the source information for that table that we were looking at is now color-coded so that the full name elements, or the sources of full name, are now highlighted in bright blue. So I didn't have to walk through the lineage step by step. I could actually jump from the end all the way back to the beginning to easily identify the source elements. Let's talk about impact analysis. So what's impacting full name? Or better said, what are the sources of it? And if I expand this source, then I can determine exactly the element that's creating the source. In this case, it's full name. If I click somewhere else, you can see the little TT. And the TT, first of all, the blue box we call an active tag, meaning that it actively goes out and finds information in your system. It tags it and makes it very easy for you to find as an end user. Notice that it displays that transformation for me. And if I click on full name, anything impacted downstream will be highlighted in bright red. Now I want to go ahead and jump and show you how you can compare what used to be in your system with what is currently in your system. Let's go ahead and go back to that customers report. And I'm going to go ahead and compare today's scan. And you can see the date and time up here when I created that scan. If you're in a different time zone, it may seem a little odd to you, but that's my time zone. And I'm going to go ahead and look at this comparison at a medium level. And I'm going to compare the two revisions, and I'm just going to go back and compare a previous revision for this customer's report. And when I visualize that, Manta will show me that comparison. And notice that everything that's new is highlighted in green. And if I go over here to the left, you see an orange line, and that shows me that I have changes underneath that element. And by opening it up, I can see that the red elements have been deleted. As you can see here, that's the revision state. And the green elements are all new. So I can see that the sourcing for these three elements has changed from these three elements to these three elements. So that's my summary today and the things that I wanted to show you. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Carolina.
Amazing. Thank you very much, David. I think you nailed it. That would be it for today. Thank you very much and have an amazing day.
Thank you, everyone.